Hey guys, Ryan from Rastrick Media here today to take you through a quick tutorial on 2D motion tracking in After Effects. First things first is we need some footage, so let's import some. There we go, we'll take that one there, drop that on and create a new comp, and that's going to bring up your timeline. So as we scrub through, we can see it's a lovely little pan shot of a guy walking through a deserted desert. Awesome. Alright, the next step we need to do is create a null object, and we do that via right clicking, new, null object. As we do that, you'll see a red square pop up on your footage here. Don't worry too much about that. Null is an invisible layer. It's not rendered out into your final composition. It's just a placeholder or a container to hold all that data and information. Cool. So tip 101, name your layers. I'm going to name this one tracking null, so it just keeps track of all your different layers. And if you have multiple nulls all through your composition and they're all named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc., etc., it does get quite messy and quite a tad confusing. Now that we've got our null and our tracking shot here, click on your footage, pop up to the animation menu and hit track motion. When you do that, you'll notice a new tab pop up. This is the layer tab, and if we go back, we've got the composition tab. Make sure that you are in the layer tab, as this will enable the tracker menu. Cool, now that we're in our layer menu here and our tracker option is open, we can see there is a track point on the footage here. So what we need to do is just scrub through the footage here and find a good place to attach this to, and I think right at the end of our clip is fine. If we click onto the track point and we drag it across, it's going to magnify. It's going to make it easier to find a track point. Good tip here is make sure that you apply the track point to a higher contrast part of the footage, or a brighter part, because it just makes it easier for After Effects to keep track of where that point is. If you apply it to a dark part of the footage or a low contrast, After Effects is going to have a really hard time trying to track it, and you're not going to end up with a very good track result. Cool. Lovely. So now that we've at the end of our footage here, we actually need to track backwards. If we pop down, you'll see the motion target tracking null, and the tracking null is the null that we created earlier on. If you've named it something else, then it's going to be named something else there as well. However, if you have multiple nulls in your composition, you're going to make sure that you're selected on the right one. And if you're not, hit edit target, select the correct null and hit OK. Cool. Now that we've got the correct null selected, let's track backwards. So we hit the analyze backwards button, and that's going to do its thing. And as it scrolls right back through, it's tracking all that motion in the footage. And it's done. So we can see now that it's brought up some tracking information here, which is great. We just scroll through there and scrub through. We can see that that track point is pretty much solid on that building there, which is fantastic. Now we need a way to take all this tracking information that we've just created and pop it into our composition. And the way we do that is we store it in those null objects. So we've selected the correct null, and we're going to hit apply. Apply dimensions X and Y, OK. Done. So now we're back in our composition tab automatically. We can see that it's created quite a few keyframes. We don't need to worry about those, so we can collapse that. If we scrub through our footage now, we can see that the red square here, which is our null, is stuck at that track point, and it's done a pretty good job, so I'm happy with that. Let's chuck some text on. I'm just going to write hello. Lovely. There we go. Now we're just going to chuck that somewhere in our scene. We'll check that there. And if we scrub through our footage now, we can see that the hollow is just floating around in space. So it's not actually tracked or connected to anything. It's just floating there and it's not doing much. So we need to tell our hollow layer, our text layer here, to gather all that information that we just captured in our tracking data. The way we do that is we parent it to that null object. And there's two ways to do that. You can pop down here on the parent column, and you can click on the little circle button here and drag it across the null. Or you can go to the drop down box and click the tracking null. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move this one up to the top here, and I'm going to parent this to that null. Lovely. So if we scrub through our footage now, we can see, I'm going to turn this the visibility of that null off. We can now see that the footage is, there we go, it's stuck to the top of the building there. So it now looks like it's part of the scene, and it's stuck on top of that building. Lovely. If you have any questions or comments, just pop them in the box below. And don't forget to subscribe as well. We'll be releasing a lot more tutorials in the next few weeks. Thanks for stopping by.